Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the gimbal in your Taranis. And my Taranis here, my right stick here, which controls the roll and the pitch. I'm on mode 2, is got a problem. I think it's defective now because the pot on the roll axis won't center correctly. And so you can see here, I'm in here in the outputs and it's showing 15-20 microseconds on the output, even though the stick is centered. And no matter how much I have tried to recalibrate the stick, I cannot get this to stay centered. And sometimes while I'm flying, it'll switch from being at above 1500 to below 1500. So I get these really random wild swings in my flying, and it's because of this bad gimbal. I think the potentiometer in the right stick is going bad on the roll. So first I thought it was just the roll, and I tried trimming it out, but then it would just randomly swing back and forth. And now the pitch axis seems to be also affected as well. So right now it seems to be okay, but it'll, there it goes, 1506, and I'll move it around to 1500. It doesn't stay centered. So I'm going to show you how to take the gimbal off and replace it with a new one. I picked up a new gimbal here. It's the original FrSky gimbal, but I think that they have come up with an updated version that fixes these problems where the gimbals go bad. So I'm hoping this will stay good for a while. So we're going to have to open this guy up, but before you do, you want to loosen up these 4 hex screws here that hold the gimbal on before you flip this thing over. This is a 2.5 millimeter hex nut, so just loosen those up, and then that gimbal will be able to come out after you open up the back of the Taranis. So let's do that first. Okay, now you can see that the gimbal is now loosened there. Go ahead and flip our Taranis over. So we're going to need to remove these screws here. There's 6 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there are 2 on the side over here, 2 over here, and then 2 up here on top. Okay, once those screws are loosened, the back part should just come right off. There we go. Okay, as you can see, there's a bunch of wires here holding the 2 halves together, so I'm going to have to figure out which ones I need to pull off. Loosen these and pull these back to the bottom, these little switches here. Okay. Okay, so now you got these ribbon cables here. Not sure if I'm going to remove these. I'll probably leave them on. You want to be careful not to break these, because then your Taranis won't work anymore. Okay, so in order to get the gimbal out, you're going to have to disconnect these cables here. There's one here on this PCB, and there's one over here, a smaller one. This is for the trims for the roll, and there's going to be another one right over here on this side. That's the trims for the pitch. And so when you put in the new gimbal, you have to remember which is which, otherwise you'll have your trims reversed. So it looks like the connector for the trim down here is shorter, so it should be pretty easy to not get that mixed up. Okay, this is the old one. I was able to get it all removed. Just remove these 3 connectors and it comes right out. Okay, here's the new one. Just have to make sure you have everything in the same orientation. And that looks right. So here on this connector, we have the main connector and the 2 trims, and this one will be the one that's closer to that big connector here, because it's shorter, and this one will go to the pitch axis. Okay, so the gimbal's in. I'm going to go ahead and take my screws and put them in here to secure them before I close everything up. Okay, so I've got the gimbal now secured in the front with those hex screws. I'm just going to put everything back together the way it was originally before I close it up, so make sure there's nothing binding or getting crushed, like any wires. And we should be able to close this up and screw it all back together. Okay, that was actually fairly easy. It didn't take too long. Just had to open it up and swap those out. Getting the 2 halves back together was a little bit fiddly up here at the top where the switches are, but I got it eventually together, no problem.
Welcome
Go ahead and turn it back on, and we'll go into the radio setup. Let's see, where is the calibrate? Okay, so go into the radio setup and then find the calibration menu. And so we're going to go ahead and recalibrate all the sticks. So everything should be back to normal. Hit start. And wants to center sticks. Okay. Move all the sticks around. And the pots. Okay, that should do it. Let's get back out of here and see if the gimbal is centering correctly. Let's go back. Okay, so the problem was it wasn't centering on channel 2, which was the roll axis. And it looks like, yep, now we're at 1500 microseconds, which is what it should be. Excellent. Great. Let's see what the pitch axis looks like, and it's right on 1500 on the dot. Awesome. Everything else looks good. Okay, great. So that looks like it fixed my problem. So if you're having that same issue where your gimbal is not staying centered, it should be at 1500 microseconds when it's in the middle. And if it's randomly wandering around, then it's time to get a new gimbal. So I guess these things don't last forever. I've had this Taranis for about a year, so I'm not surprised that the gimbal has gone out by now, and I've used it quite a bit. So it was only, I think, $15 for the new gimbal, so not too bad. I'll put a link down below to where I got this part. I got it on Banggood. It was $15 and it came pretty quick, so no complaints there. Let me know if you have any questions below on how to do this switch out. It's actually pretty simple. I was pretty intimidated opening this thing up and switching it out, but it turns out that it was actually a lot easier than I expected. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.